Hello, 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 and welcome to the Speakers Lounge. Yes! So many incredible speakers today, and we are coming to you live. It's Monday, it is noon Eastern time, and I do this once a month, every Monday at noon Eastern time, and I bring you visionary insights on how to not only be a better speaker, but also how to be an unforgettable speaker. So I bring on guests and experts who are going to help level you up. And today, I am so excited to announce that I've got a lot of the members of the practice room. And the practice room is a weekly workout. I would say it's like a weekly gym membership for speakers where we do improv exercises, we ask questions, we support each other, we have a good time doing it. And so today I thought it would be really fun to bring people into the speakers lounge from the practice room to practice. And so we're going to practice. I mean, look at this panel, people. I have never moderated a panel this big, and I bet none of them have been on a panel this big. Has anyone been on a panel this big before? No? Okay, well, this will be super fun. And so we're going to be practicing things like how to be more concise, how to have some fun. But we have some really brilliant minds in the room right now. And for me, it's all about lifting up voices. And that's the point. That's the reason why I do what I do, because I feel like the more voices we get on stage with things that are going to shift and change the world as we know it and the human hearts, the better. So these are some people making some real impact. And I would like to start with James. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our community, please?
Definitely. Well, thank you very much, Meredith. Very excited to be here. So I am James McQuiggan. I work in cybersecurity. I focus on the human element, ironically. Go around doing thought leadership, presentations, workshops on all things dealing with AI, other cybersecurity topics. And oh yeah, I drop in a dad joke from time to time as well. So, we'll see how it goes today. But thanks again, Meredith. Excited to be here and chat with everybody here.
Oh, you're so welcome. James, I'm going to give you an activity to do, okay? I want you to pretend you got this baseball in your hand.
Okay.
You got a baseball in your hand, and you're going to throw that to another person in the room, and they're going to catch it and introduce themselves. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead and throw that.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You ready? Here comes the windup. Here comes the pitch, and we're going to throw it over to Molly.
Yes!
Caught it midair. Thanks, James. I am Molly Brown. I'm here in Virginia right now, and I am a life coach, a mindset engineer, helping people design the way that we're thinking.
Beautiful. Thank you, Molly, for being here. Wind that up and toss it to somebody else.
All right. Here you go, Mark.
Bam. Wow, you got a hand, girl. Thank you. Hey, Mark James here. Happy to be here, Meredith. Thanks for including me today. I live in Illinois, but my heart is in Wyoming, that picture behind me. I'm a business advisor. I work with companies to help improve the culture, get people more engaged, and really help business owners and leaders get rid of those barriers that inevitably get in the way of performance and results in a business. Quite often that has to do with things like employee engagement and communication, managing change. I've been doing what I've been doing for the past 45 years. I used to be 6 inches taller, but I still enjoy what I'm doing. So let me see if I can get my throwing arm ready to go here. And I'm going to go to Tina.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm Tina Larson with the Folsom Group. I am a co-op and condo consultant in New York City. I'm basically doing what Mark does for businesses, but for co-op and condo board volunteers. And we do that by cutting their expenses, increasing efficiencies, and even change their property manager if the one they have, they no longer can stand. I'm an avid city biker. So if you're in New York City, you'll see me on a city bike anywhere and everywhere. And I am tossing this to, and if you've never noticed, I have never tossed a baseball before in my life.
Oh, I would have not known, Tina.
Louise!
Oh, me.
Lisa!
Okay. I'm terrible at catching, by the way. My name is Teresa Cantley, and I am from Philadelphia, outside of Philadelphia. I am a business advisor and growth strategist for for founders of and their teams of Main Street businesses, specifically in the hospitality industry, retail, and restaurant. And my core methodology that I work with people on is I build businesses or rebuild businesses from the inside out, which really is a blend of human connection, so the people aspect of it, with business strategy and implementation. All right, here we go. And I'm going to wind up and Nisha.
Got it. Funny thing, in high school, I would have loved to play football, but they did not let us women play. So I'm catching it with my left hand and channeling in my football energy. I'm Nisha Singh. I am from San Francisco, California. I'm a marketing and comm strategist for nonprofit and social impact. I've been in that field for about 15 years, and I'm also a stage actor. Meredith was one of my instructors during my MFA program in Naropa. I think, honestly, my philosophy is for people to see themselves inside of a story, whether it's doing a rebrand for an organization, or rather uplifting stories on stage. And so I'm grateful to be here with everyone and to learn from all of you. I am going to pass this football on to Sherry.
Whoa, okay. Thank you, Nisha. I am Sherry Ruskis, coming to you from beautiful Boulder, Colorado, and I am an author. And I like to think of myself as a growth enthusiast because I love to grow people and I love to grow plants. I have entered the third stage of the third stage, it could be the fourth, who knows, but of my life. And with that, I have started the Grow You Girl YouTube channel, which talks about growth and gardening and creating places in your life where you can find peace and confidence in all that you do. So with that, who is left? I'm trying to, and I'm going to warn you. Okay, Shoko, I thought it was you. I have been told many times in my life I throw like a girl, and I'm proud of it. So,
and I catch it like a girl, and I'm so proud of being a woman. So hi there. I'm Shoko Masuda. I'm currently in Connecticut, but I'm originally from Japan. So English is not my first language, so bear with me. But what I'm doing right now is the executive coach and helping executives, particularly women, to be visible and realize their high potentials. So I'm very passionate about it. I'm so glad to be here. And thank you for Meredith and everybody for sharing all their insights. There you go.
Beautiful.
Back to you, Meredith.
Thank you so much. I'm going to put this on the shelf over here. Let's give ourselves a big round of applause. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to toss this question to you. What does it mean to be present in your own body? What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be present in your own body? Mark.
Probably you're present in your own body when you're paying attention to what's around you. And what's around you, how that's impacting your body. If you go outside in the middle of winter with no coat on, it's going to impact your body and you're going to feel it. Conversely, if it's the middle of summer, it's 95 degrees and 100% humidity like we get in Illinois, you're going to feel that too. You're present in your body by what your environment does to you.
Beautiful. Molly, same question.
Specifically in speaking, I've noticed it's breathing or not breathing. There's a way of speaking where I'm in my head or my forehead, like 3% of my body, and I forget to breathe. And people notice. I notice. So being really in my body is just remembering to breathe.
Remembering to breathe. Yes, that comes up a lot in the practice room, right? When we're anticipating sometimes, or we tend to hold. So awesome. Same question, Tina Larson.
Thank you, Meredith. And to me, it means to be here now and not think about all the task lists that we have in our head for what we have to do when we're done here. and not think about what we were talking about before or the meeting that didn't go as expected earlier today or yesterday. That's what it means to me.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. Same question, Nisha.
I feel like everyone really summed up where I was going to go. I think to add to that, I think about this inner-outer relationship, what is happening in our parasympathetic nervous system, and ways in which they can work for us instead of against us. So we can't control the factors that are coming in, but if we're allowing that feedback loop to be present and our five senses to be activated, I liked what James said about just being present to the sounds, the tastes around you. I think that to me feels like being present.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nisha. Okay, next question for what does it mean to own your voice? Like, what does that feel like? What does that mean to you, James McQuiggan?
Wow, great question. Yeah, owning your voice for me, kind of it's improv. Right, here we go. I have to probably go with almost like your own personal branding, own your voice, not only in your confidence in what you're speaking about, confidence in delivering. Molly touched upon, forgetting to breathe. But when you're presenting, making sure that you're present in when you're speaking, but owning your voice, being confident with your voice, but also in your message.
Beautiful, being confident in your voice and your message. And I love that you tied what Molly said into your answer as well. Well done, James. Sherry, I'm gonna ping it over to you now, my friend. Same question. Owning your voice.
Owning your voice. I found the last years because my voice changed from being a business coach to what I'm doing now is discovering who you are, is really finding it out. And it's one of my greatest loves of this group is that every Friday I get to discover just a little bit more about who I am and what I need to be doing and sharing with the world as well as for myself. So I am very grateful for that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Teresa, same question.
I'm gonna kind of go with what stay in alignment with what Sherry just said. I think owning your voice is it's not just about knowing who you are, but also learning who you are meant to become. So the more you are authentically and you tap into the internal part of it, the more you are authentically you, unedited. And it takes a lot to do this, to really be unedited and own and own who you are. But then as you do that, you start to learn who you're meant to become. You start to grow, you start to evolve. And I think once you do that and you're speaking in complete alignment with that, the external stuff, like the things that you teach, the things that you coach, how you work with people, how you speak, like just your delivery of your speak, that's where confidence is born.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. All right, Shoko.
Yes, same question, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I would say definitely as Sherry, Teresa, and James said, that really knowing who you are and aware of what's happening in your body. And I would add that accepting who you are and giving yourself permission to be who you are. I think that's such an encouragement. And that's what I learned in this, the practice room.
Beautiful. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, we're going to shift gears a little bit, and then I'm going to ask another question. Are you ready? So we are going to do one word at a time story, but I'm not going to go in any particular order, which means that we're on Zoom. We're going to do some heightened listening here, people. So if we overlap, one person's got to pull back. We got to be clear. We got to articulate. Can we do it? What do you guys think?
Bring it.
What do you think? Are you ready for that? Are you ready?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you ready for the challenge? All right, one word at a time story. I will tell you who's going to start, though. I will give that. Okay, Molly is going to start us off. Here we go.
The
Weather.
Was
Not.
Able.
Two.
Smile.
Big.
period.
Because.
So
And
Then
We
Went
Away.
To
Jackson Hole.
to
ski.
Ooh.
and
We softball.
Is
Not
my
very
Favorite.
sport.
Woo! All right. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Okay. How many of you were holding your breath? Show hand. Show hand. I could feel it. Like you can feel it. Even in the Zoom screen. You can
Yeah.
feel it. Like you're like, oh, people are
Yeah.
holding their breath. Because you get still. I do love that you are also physicalizing, like, I'm about to speak. That was good. You all did that without having to communicate about that first. Right? So there's all these really cool, yummy things that happen when we're given these like very, very simple rules. Very simple rules. And there's all these real world things that we get to explore without any real world implications, if that makes sense. Consequences. All right, good. Okay, shake that off. Shake that one off. Woo, woo, woo. Next question. Are you ready?
yes.
And this one's going to go to Mark first. What is the one thing as a speaker you had to unlearn?
Still trying to unlearn it because I'm not there yet, but with your help, I've gone a long way, and that's now sounding like some corporate speak dude standing in front of an audience, and this is the PowerPoint slide, and this is what's next, and here's the stats, here's that, blah, 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 blah.
Beautiful. Unlearning the corporate speak and the way that we think we need to be showing up. I love it, Mark. Thank you. Awesome. Teresa,
Oh,
same
definitely.
question.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing that I had to unlearn, and I'm still unlearning it. And this goes back to owning your voice, is not memorizing, but actually speaking from your heart. And your heart actually leads over the thought. So if you're speaking from your heart will never direct you wrong. That took a long time for me to understand because I was constantly trying to memorize what I was going to say because I wanted to, quote unquote, make sure I sounded smart. But if I was speaking from my heart and really authentically, because that's where the message was coming from that I was delivering to the audience, it came across much more powerful. So that was hands down. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. Gorgeous. Tina, how about for you? One thing you've had to unlearn.
What I had to unlearn, well, there are so many things that I have learned. But I think that the number one, well, you have all, and you, Meredith, have helped me develop my story. So I have a good story. I used to not have a story, and then it's not very easy to learn anything. But the one thing that stood out the most to me is that it takes much more practice than I had ever thought. So what I thought was these people are all brilliant speakers and they probably practice 2 times. Well, that's not the case. So for my comedy routine, I probably spent 200 hours to be successful on stage. I felt very good about it, but I had to unlearn that you just show up and think that you're going to be good.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Did you hear that, audience? Did you hear that, people listening? All right, James, how about for you? What's one thing that you've had to unlearn?
I think I always go back to the fact of feeling not worthy to be delivering the info, or imposter syndrome is kind of the term. Even yesterday, getting up in front of 50 to 60 peers in cybersecurity talking about deepfakes, there was still that uneasiness and something I still battle with. But the Superman pose, usually what does it for me is adding that confidence before I get up and give a presentation, and breathing as well. But that's something I still deal with on a regular basis.
Thank you for sharing that. Let's all do the Superman pose real quick. Hey, Superman pose. I love it.
Or the Wonder Woman pose.
Or the Wonder Woman pose.
Whatever works.
The Wonder Woman pose. All right, beautiful. So share with me, Nisha, if you don't mind answering this question, what is one thing that has surprised you about your voice?
I think when I'm silent, I think if your previous question, but I think it works well here, is trusting in the pauses. So when my voice wants to take a beat, how much that reciprocity with the audience actually works, because it gives us all time to sort of relate to one another. So that has been surprising, and a tool that I use is when a pause feels imminent to take it and to allow myself to scan the room, because I think everyone else is relating to that in that time.
Beautiful, thank you. Molly, same question. What has surprised you about your voice?
Overall, really just actually how much I do have to say. I spent so long being like a wallflower and quiet. So when I did get out and start my own business and start speaking, it turns out like I have a lot to say. And now I'm learning, what Nisha's talking about, like that pause. And so sometimes I want to say all that I have to say in one run-on sentence. So now bringing in the pause.
Beautiful, thank you, Molly. Shoko, how about for you? What's something that has surprised you?
So I would say that pause definitely. And another thing is that it's okay that I'm not saying as I designed to say. In other words, that I practice as Tina said, but sometimes I forget. But it's okay, because nobody knows what I was going to say. Therefore, you can say what you think you wanted to say at that moment.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And Sherry, for you, what is something that surprised you?
I think that how good it feels inside when you make another person smile, or you give them an aha that is going to make a difference in their life. That really has been huge. And if you can make somebody laugh and they're laughing with you and not at you, that also just feels so good. So good.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's do like a little shakeout. Let's do a little shakeout in between the questions. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for the next one? This one is going to be the same question for everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start with Teresa. And the question is, what is one thing that you are specifically working on that's going to help another person as well?
Oh,
What is one thing that you're specifically working on that's going to help someone watching this right now as well?
Oh boy. The courage, having the courage to ask, having the courage to take up space and to own the room. So the courage to ask. I've worked with a lot of Main Street businesses. I believe in saving Main Street because I believe they're the backbone of the economy. But it's something that I've struggled with, which is making the ask to say, I can help you, I can work with you, and putting myself out there. I have a tendency to, in a room, shrink back because I think that my voice isn't important. So take it like owning the room, and like I said, taking up space. But it's definitely having the courage to say, to like make the ask.
Beautiful. So give me one baby step that you're going to take that our audience can also take for those who resonate with what you're working with.
Well, I think one of the first steps is just owning who you are. Don't be afraid to break the mold. And say, you know what, I'm different. My business is different. I'm different. And here's how I'm different. So I think for me, that first baby step is owning that, and then just speaking, saying it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're all here supporting you on those steps that you're going to be taking to make the ask. I love it. All right, James, same question for you.
Repeat the question one more time.
The question is, what is the one thing that you are working on that is also going to help another person when it comes to you and your voice?
Yeah, so me and my voice, I think one of the things that I'm always working on, besides the imposter syndrome, is during the presentations is being present in the moment. A lot of the times we get sucked up to what's the visual, what's up on the slide if we're using PowerPoint or Keynote. And we're just, a lot of the times I find myself floating above myself. I see myself there presenting and I'm out of having that, I'm just on autopilot and going forward. And so for me, a lot of it is just trying to be present in what I'm delivering, being deliberate in my message rather than just trying to get through that story or get through whatever bullet points I've got up on the slide. And even yesterday in the presentation I was doing was trying to be conscious and present in the moment of delivering whatever the message was at that particular time. So that would probably be what I work on. So for the baby step, it's certainly, as you're presenting, just make sure that you're there present, take a breath, throw in a pause, keep the audience on the edge of their seat.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Be present. All right, Tina, question for you. This is the same question. What are you
Yes.
working on at present that's going to help somebody else? What's the baby step you can give our listeners?
So what I'm working on right now is being clearer and more concise in my message. Now, I have been working on it for a long time. Doesn't happen overnight.
And what's one thing that you do to help you? What do you do to help yourself in those moments?
So practice over and over and over again, basically. And I mean, there's so many times when I have an opportunity for a 30-second introduction of myself, and I'm using your technique, Meredith, to try first to say the message in 2 minutes, then in 1 minute, and then in right. So I practice that. That's one of the many tools that I use. But I mean, it's just practicing over and over and over again and see how it resonates. I have to share a success though.
Yes.
I was in a networking event recently, and the presenter, she was talking about, her presentation was about clarity. And she actually, this is after we had done our 30-second commercials, and she actually pointed at me. She said, "You have a very clear message." And I'm like, today was a successful day.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I love that so much. I'm just going to repeat the exercise that you shared back with our audience so that they understand if they want to do it at home, which is you can take something at 90 seconds, record yourself, then do it in the exact half that time, so 45 seconds, and then do it in half that time to distill down your message and see what's the most important information to share with your audience. So that's a really great way to get more concise. So thank you, Tina. Okay, Shoko, same question. Something you're working on that's going to help another person.
I have two things, if I may.
Yes.
So one is that this is so dear to my heart. This is what Meredith always say, is that holding not too tight, holding not too light. And that is so true. When you speak, you really becoming rigid to your script. You become not communicating. But if you're too loose, you may lose, your story. So that's what I'm really trying to do that. And this is also related to that talking to the person, not speaking at them, the conversation. So what I do is, this is what Meredith told me, is that putting somebody's photo, particularly on the Zoom, putting the photo in front of or the behind the camera, so that as if you're speaking to that person, or conversation, not speaking at that person. So that's one of the two things.
Beautiful. Thank you, Shoko. Thank you. I love it. All right, Molly.
Definitely working on taking a pause and that in speaking, since we're in a fractal universe, it's the pause everywhere. It's the pause in my day, the pause in my business, the pause in my working with people to check in with them, pausing when I'm on myself to check in on myself. So, and then how I'm, the cue I'm using to do that is coming back to the breath. And speaking, just literally remembering you do have to breathe in again and allowing the time to do it. And then pulling that breath into all of the other, patterns of the fractal also.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love how it's not just about the pause in the speaking, but it's a pause in the day. It's a pause in the things that we're doing on a regular basis, because it all does feed each other. So that's really beautiful. Thank you, Molly. All right, Nisha, same question for you, my friend.
Yeah, a really wise acting teacher of mine once told me is not to overperform when you're presenting. And I think the relatability comes back to if you own your story, if you come in with a personal anecdote, that helps soften. So I have this approach of, it's called a heart sandwich, where you have an equal part emotional connection, then you go into the rational, like how is this going to serve the audience that you're speaking to, and then end it again with something relatable. So I think that helps kind of just like soften the breath and allow one to like be able to communicate in a way that doesn't feel like I'm trying to appeal to the audience versus being relatable to them. So I'd say a heart head sandwich, and own your story with love and with power, because it is meaningful for other people to hear that.
Thank you so much. I love the heart head sandwich. Excellent. Thank you. All right, Mark.
One of the things that I don't know if some of you know, but Meredith, I've told you that one of the reasons why I do speaking, it's to give back and to pay it forward. But I also, one of the things that excites me about speaking is that I can't only get a rush doing it. Rush of energy. It sounds selfish, but what I'm trying to do that I think will help other people, and it goes back to that getting out of that corporate blah, 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 no engagement with the audience, is to take and channel that energy, because I've got that rush coming on stage, and channel that into energy that turns on the audience. There's an old saying that says that how you show up is what you're going to attract more of. And so I think there's an expectation for most audiences that you want to come with some energy. And sometimes that's a little challenging with a business audience, which is most of my audiences. But I do know based on experience that having some energy and putting some energy out there, especially initially to engage the audience, is something that I think will rub off on other people. Because it's rubbed off on me. Because the speakers I remember are the ones that have that energy and you feel it right away. Not you're waiting for the punchline, or you're waiting for, what's the moral of the story here halfway through the presentation.
Beautiful. I'm going to add to that too, because sometimes there's those speakers where you feel the feels because they're so good at what they do. And then they walk off stage and they're like a completely different person, and they don't feel like they're approachable anymore. So I am going to take what you just said, Mark, and I'm going to and add on to it, which is be the speaker that is always giving the same amount of energy, and you actually believe what you're sharing from the stage as much as you do when you're off of the stage.
Yep. And one of the things you do as a speaker to add value to you being a speaker, when someone is engaging or to contract you or engage you to speak, is be willing to offer some extra value to say, hey, I'm happy to stick around and do a private one-on-one with a smaller audience. I'll just be around for people who want to come up and talk to me, and maintain that persona and make sure that that energy is staying with you. Because it does rub off on people.
It sure does.
We don't remember boring people. We remember people that excite us and are memorable.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mark. Yep. Okay, Sherry, my friend, bring us home. What are your
nuggets
of wisdom?
Okay. So for me, as I've been listening to everyone and loving what everyone's saying, it's also about change, being open to change. And as I am heading through this third chapter where I had a life that was, I knew what I was doing, I knew what I was speaking about, but now it's a whole new game. And there's two things that I think really have helped me a lot. One is writing. I am writing my third book right now. And just the power of writing is just amazing, how we get into our unconscious mind and find things that we never even knew were hanging out up there. So that is one. Number two, and I'm going to give you a plug, Meredith, on this one, is don't do it alone. One of the things I love so much about this group is that every week I can come in and cry sometimes. You know, you guys know that hang out with me. It's not all, bowl of cherries, but you can be yourself and get help. I have a writing group that I'm with as well to help with my book. So it's just getting the help along the way, and don't try to do it all yourself. You need people. You need community.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sherry. That's a beautiful. Find your community. Find your community.
Exactly.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to wrap this up the way that we wrap up the practice room. I want all of you, we're going to go around and we're going to do a one-word checkout about this experience doing this. I feel like that went pretty well with all of you. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty great. So let's
Totally.
just do, I'm not going to teach you what to say in your one word, but like, let's just pick your one word takeaway from your experience. We're going to start with Nisha.
I would say communal. So Sherry kind of wrapped it up, and I'm going to enter back in there.
Beautiful. Mark.
Rush.
Sherry.
Fun.
Molly.
Connected.
Shoko.
Support.
Tina.
Inspired.
James.
Educational.
Teresa.
Alive.
Beautiful. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to play that amazing intro music as our outro music. Thank you for those who were watching and listening today. And please check us out. We're here on YouTube, LinkedIn Live, every first Monday of the month at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Here we go. Feel free to dance.